Hello there, Pony, and welcome to the 12th episode of PAGIE Time, the series where you pick the topics and I talk about them. In the last episode, I talked about how to maintain quality in your videos, and you guys had a lot to add on that. So here are a few of my favorite comments. If you want a chance to be featured in the next episode, then be sure to comment down your photography tips, as in 2 weeks I'll be showing you how I take my pictures for Instagram. This week, however, we'll be talking about how to make interesting and original videos. And before you should start, you should know that there are 4 main things that we'll be talking about: quality, theme, characters, and lastly, style. Let's get started. First off, if you want to have videos that people are actually going to watch, the first step is to make sure that they have the best quality possible. Since this was the topic in the last episode, I won't be talking about it too much, but if you do want to know how to maintain quality in your videos that isn't just camera quality, I would check out the link in the description below. Basically, just try to have the best sets, lighting, editor, camera, or whatever that you can handle and can afford. The next thing that will make your videos more interesting and original is theme. Obviously, if your videos are about the same old things that everyone else is doing, no one's going to want to watch them because they've already seen them a million times. An example of this is the high school series, which was actually talked about in the first episode of this series. Almost every LPS and My Little Pony YouTuber, including me, has at least attempted to do the classic drama high school series. But as I did say in that first episode, it is super cliche and can get very repetitive and boring. Instead of being the follower of trends, try to be the trendsetter by coming up with a new genre or something for your series. A lot of people, including me, draw their ideas from their actual life. You can take something funny that happened at school, for example, turn it into something a little bit more exciting, and boom, a video. And even if your video doesn't get many views at first, at least you'll know that it was completely your video and not someone else's idea that you ripped off. The third category is characters, which is something a lot of people miss. When creating the characters for your videos, you need to make sure that they have a lot of depth and personality. Try and make them so realistic that even though they're plastic toys, people could still see them as real people. Another important note is that you shouldn't be afraid to be controversial. Lots of people will stick to the same old characters and the same old plots in their series, because they're afraid that if maybe they try something that not everyone will necessarily like, then they'll get hate for it. However, a big part of what makes a video interesting is how different and diverse the characters are. I, for one, have never seen a series that featured a physically disabled person as a main character, for example. It is very important that there is representation for all types of people in the media. And if you feel that you don't see enough representation out there, then don't be afraid to do it yourself. Sure, maybe you'll get a few hate comments just because you made your main character gay or something, but in the long run, it's going to be a lot more help to the people who are gay than the people who are against it. And on that topic, don't be afraid to break stereotypes with your characters either. The main character in your Little's Pet Shop series, for example, doesn't always have to be one of the most popular kinds of LPS dogs, and the mean girl doesn't always have to be a short-haired cat. There are way more LPS out there than just the cats and the dogs. Same goes for ponies. There are enough series out there with Twilight Sparkle as the main character and Sunset Shimmer as the main antagonist. Mean mirrors. But besides that, just make sure to have each of your characters developed as much as possible so that they actually are interesting. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have a super tragic backstory, but try and have something interesting about them. Anyways, the last section that we'll be talking about in this video is style. As I said in the last episode, you should do something to make your videos your own. Of course, you don't need to be so literal, like with the examples that I used in the last episode, but people should be able to recognize your videos as yours through the quality, style, and the characters. Combine that all together, and even if you don't have a super great camera, you should still have some pretty interesting videos. Now I think that it's time that we hear a bit from you guys as well. Here are my top 3 comments that were from the last episode on how you guys get your inspiration for videos. A bunch of the episodes in this series are dedicated to making your videos better, so I'll put a few of those links below and you can check them out if you want more help. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of PAGIE Time. Don't forget to comment down how you get inspiration if you want to get featured in the next episode. And well, I hope this video has inspired you to try and make your videos more interesting and original. Thanks for watching. Bye!